you can't compare it to the Bruins. Game 3 was just an absolute blowout of epic proportions. It was almost as bad, not quite, but almost as bad, Dominic, as the Game 6 blowout in the NBA Finals. Okay?
Yeah.
Whereas the Celtics were up by as many as 32 points in that second half, and if it wasn't for the bench getting emptied into that fourth quarter, not that 23 points is a close game, that's the only reason why that score came somewhat back down to earth, because Orlando was able to get a few points. I mean, what, they have 50 points entering the fourth quarter? Are you kidding me? This is a Magic team that was putting up some gaudy numbers, and they were held to 12 and 13 points respectively in the first and third quarters. I mean, come on now. And just to go to your other point, you talk about the Western Coast, the Western Conference, and you're dead on. Look, the Suns are a good basketball team, but when you look at the defense that both of those teams play when you watch the Western Conference Finals, it's like non-existent. In fact, I take what the Celtics are doing to the Magic, and first of all, that series, I mean, I'm still pretty sure the Lakers are going to move on, but let it be known, maybe people don't know on the East Coast, the Lakers lost last night. Suns did win that game. They won 118 to 109. Still a high-scoring game, but that's a 2-1 game right now, whereas you have the Celtics who have absolutely thrashed a Magic team that was considered the hottest team in the playoffs, and rightfully so. Dominic, they were undefeated. This is a team that had won 27 of their last 30 games, and they come right into this Celtics series, and the Celtics have said, oh, wait a minute, we're the team that won it back in 08, we're healthy, and this is our conference to win, not yours. We're going to go into your arena, win both games, bring it back to Boston, blow you out, and you can try to pick up the remaining pieces on the floor and show up for Game 4. We'll see you. That's what the Celtics have done. I think it's more impressive than what the Lakers have done to the Suns. I don't care if the Lakers have scored 150 points. I don't care. The Celtics will keep the Lakers. If that's the matchup that turns out to be, the Celtics will keep the Lakers in the 90-point column. There's going to be no 120 points being scored. And I don't care if they have Artest. They have a little physicality now. And I think Artest is a good player. It doesn't matter. This Celtics team is absolutely dangerous. If this is the matchup to be, and I don't want to get into this because me and you are from the same school of thought, we just focus on what the series we have. But one thing I want to throw at you, because you can't help but talk about it since it's always being talked about on the Boston radio. What happens with Rondo versus the Lakers? Who covers him? Who covers Rondo? Are they going to put Kobe on him? And then what happens then? Is Derek Fisher going to cover Ray Allen? There's a major problem there. In fact, that problem might be as glaring as what Cleveland had in trying to defend Rondo. So, I mean, I'll leave you with that. You can sit on that for a little bit, give me your thoughts, and then, again, we'll return to the Magic because that's what we still have. But what do you think, Dominic? I mean, what are they going to do for an answer there?
Well, that's just it. I mean, to me, Rondo seems to thrive when he's playing against, the better the point guard he's playing against, the better he plays. And I like Derek Fisher. I think he's a good shooter. He's a savvy vet. But he'll eat him up. He ate him up in 08. He'll put Steve Nash in his back pocket. I don't even want to think what he'll do to that sissy spacing. But the thing is like you said, when you were talking about how hot Orlando was was playing like Chicago played that year that they won 72 games, and all of a sudden they meet the Celtics, and the Celtics make them look like this year's New Jersey Nets. I mean, what they did to a team that, like you said, was the hottest team, 30 games, 27-3, like 30 games in basketball, unlike baseball. 30 games in baseball is like over 30 days. You play like every day. Basketball, that's like over 2.5 months. I mean, the body of work that Orlando had for like the last 2.5 months is like, what they did was so impressive, and the way the Celtics have just undressed them, it's insane. The last thing I want to say, Del, is I couldn't be happy that LA has home field in this postseason with the Celtics, because the final format is the only one where it goes from 2-2-1-1-1 to 2-3-2. And I actually think that format oftentimes favors the road team, because if the road team can ever manage to get a split in the first 2 games, then they go home for 3 straight. Now, the way the Celtics have been playing, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves and start talking LA series. The way the Celtics have been playing, I would be stunned if they didn't leave LA with at minimum a 1-1 split. The way they've been playing, I wouldn't be surprised if they left LA 2-0. But they should at least leave LA tied 1-1 coming back to the Garden with 3 straight games. So I love the fact that they're the road team in these finals, because let's face it, they're going to make it to the finals. Orlando doesn't have a prayer. And they're going to face LA, even though, like you said, Del, you mentioned that Phoenix did win last night and make it 2-1. And one thing you didn't mention, which I'm sure your audience knows, but Game 4 is also in Phoenix. So, I mean, it's not like they're heading back to LA yet. Game 4 is still in Phoenix. So let's take care of business tonight. Let the Celtics rest any little bumps and bruises, and let's look forward to L.A. Del, great job, great website, and I'll talk to you later, buddy. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you, Dominic. I appreciate the call. Have a good one, my friend.